looking at me.
I got you.
I'm like, why'd you look over?
Without further ado, let's kick off this conversation by welcoming our highly anticipated athlete, the exceptional Miss Nicole Melius. A graduate of Susan Wagner High School in Staten Island, New York, she scored a remarkable 3,140 points over 3 seasons. A 3-time recipient of the Warren Jakes Award, she set the New York City all-time single season scoring record with an impressive 1,137 points. Not only does she hold the title of all-time leading scorer in Staten Island for both boys and girls, but she also ranks as the all-time leading scorer in New York City overall. Additionally, she sits 4th in New York State history for total points scored with 410 three-pointers. She is recognized as the city's top career three-point shooter. As a 2-time New York State Sports Writer Player of the Year, she's made a name for herself by becoming the leading scorer in the New York Martin Luther King Junior High School Classic. Nicole's standout performance also earned her the title of Player of the Game at the Barclays Center during the NYC Championship. Upon graduation, Nicole took her talents to LaSalle University, where she was named to the Atlantic 10 All-Rookie team. Nicole played in all 30 games, starting 29 of them, and led the team in scoring with an average of 10.9 points per game. Alongside those stats, Nicole also averaged 2.7 rebounds, 0.9 assists, while logging 29.2 minutes per game. She also ranked 5th in Atlantic 10 in three-pointers made, 2.4 per game, tied for 41st in the nation. A record in shooting percentage at 3.41%, at 0.341% by connecting on 73 of 214 three-point attempts. Nicole has since transferred to Seton Hall University this year. Let's introduce our highly anticipated athlete, Nicole Melius. How you doing, Nicole?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Hi, everybody. We were stuck over here, but we're
It's all right. Smokey, what's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I am excited to be here. I think we have been interviewing a lot of great athletes, and as the people can hear with the introduction that you've done for her, we are with the G.O.A.T. This is the number one
asked. The G.O.A.T.
number one female athlete. It says in New York State. In her time as far as with high school and everything like that. On Staten Island is a big deal as well because, again, we always say that this is an island that needs to be recognized for everything. This is what this Spotlight interview is for, is to put that recognition on you and let you know, even though you are also our first female college athlete. I will thank you for that as well. Facts. You also put on for high school. We'll get into a little bit of all that. So, Hakim, ready to start with the first question?
All right, Nicole. Tell us your first and last name, what school you went to, all that, everything.
Starting with high school before college. Yeah.
All right. So my name is Nicole Melius. I went to Susan Wagner High School, where you just read all of my accolades. Then I went to LaSalle University as a freshman, where I had a really successful season.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I just didn't like, how things were going there. So I transferred to Seton Hall last year. Unfortunately, I got injured. And now I'm at Siena College. So going well.
Okay.
Going well.
All right.
Yes.
What name do you go by?
What do you mean?
Like, you just go by Nicole, Nikki, anything like that?
Nicole.
Just Nicole?
Nicole.
Just formal?
Just Nicole. I don't like the nicknames I've been given by past trainers.
And
my dad's going to be watching and be like, you should have told him your nickname, but I'm not telling you.
What? Oh, so that means invite Dad next time.
We got to get Dad's info. We
definitely got to get, because his father's dead. He'd have let us know. Yo, I know you got my math, but text me. So you don't like nicknames. All right, cool. So just call you Nicole. Keep it professional. What's your nationality?
Italian and Greek.
Okay. We just like to ask these little background
I have
questions.
to think about this. I forget.
I got you.
Were your parents born and raised on Staten Island or somewhere else?
Yes, that now.
Okay.
How does it feel to represent your family when you play basketball?
It feels pretty good to carry the weight that I do. My father wasn't really a successful athlete, so I feel like me, he's watching me and just really happy for me.
That's cool. What did he play?
Basketball.
Oh, he played ball, and he played ball on Staten Island?
On Staten Island,
You
yeah.
broke boy.
You just saying he wasn't good.
Nah, he was trash.
Yo, I'm using this in the first clip. We might not even get to
Garbage.
So wait, so what high school he went to?
He went to St. Joseph by the Sea.
Okay, shout out to St. Joseph.
Guy.
Okay, and did he have was he a varsity starter? Like,
I don't know about that.
Okay.
But
Cool. Yeah. We gotta get that. We gotta get this 101. So me and Keem do have an idea of something in the future, and we definitely will be in contact with you about it when it comes into fruition. But that's hilarious. Outside of basketball, give the audience something that you like to do as far as like a favorite hobby.
I like to run.
Run.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've become a runner ever since my injury.
Okay.
Which I know is like really weird, but I feel like I can't speak. I took that for granted in the past, and I feel like now like I've run every single day before I play basketball.
And when you mean like you took it for granted, you mean like when you was going through like your high school journey, you didn't do no track or nothing?
No, I never ran. I never wanted to do any conditioning, and I feel like being injured, it's like I just felt so lazy, and it's like I gotta run.
Wait, time out. So you was just waking up, yawning, stretching, going out there and just scoring 1,000?
Cooking. You heard it. Cooking.
All right, cool. Dude, we gonna laugh and we gonna have some fun.
I guess, yeah.
He said, run once. I run between the lines.
She said, stretch. Pass the ball, bro. I got this.
I did a lot of basketball training though, but I never ran.
Okay, and you feel like that's because of your injury now you've looked into that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the best shape I've been in thus far in my career.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you bounced back. We do have a couple high school questions, so it's gonna be there for a little hot second. So when you were in high school, when you were in Wagner, what were some of your favorite subjects or some of your favorite teachers?
My favorite subjects, I would say English. I feel like I'm a good writer.
Okay.
I hate math. I don't know. I really just liked English. I have nothing else. Oh, no, I like history.
Okay.
I'm a criminal justice major now, so history is still a thing for me.
Oh, so you be watching all those like serial killer docs and all of that? Oh, nah, okay. Any teachers that was helping you when you was in Wagner that you want to give a shout out to?
Well, my coach was a teacher too, so I would say Tom Rizzo.
Rizzo's the coach?
Yeah, he was my coach and he was a teacher.
Yeah. No, I know. I went to Wagner.
Yeah. You
so
know he was
Kasha was.
Oh, Kasha, he was my gym
I was
teacher.
with the boys.
I loved it. Yeah. He was great.
Yeah, Kasha was in. I don't know if TJ's still there, TJ Baker, but he was there for a little while. I think he was assistant coach, but so Rizzo was your coach. Shout out to Rizzo.
Yeah.
He might not remember you, Smokey, but
shout out Rizzo.
You most likely suspended me a couple times because he was out. I think he was a dean or something when we was there. So
I also liked Eric Wright. Do you know him? I didn't have him.
Mr. Wright was the man. Sorry, Hakim. You got all your Peters people and all that. Shout out Devin. He was a Wagner athlete that we interviewed as well. But Mr. Wright is a math teacher. Yeah. Does he still do the dance?
I never had him, but he was such a cool guy. He would always talk to me in the hallways.
So Mr. Wright, just to give a little backstory, if you started his math class, I had him sophomore year for double period. If he was ever wrong, he would have to eat a piece of chalk and do his famous dance. So anytime we would correct him in math, he would have to do that. So we used to be on it in math, and if he was wrong, he would do that. They made him a dean my senior year. Bro, we took full advantage of him. We was wilding on him. He thought we were nice kids until he became a dean. Like, you dealt with us for 35 minutes and it was cool. Yeah. But in these hallways, but shout out to Mr. Ray. So tell the audience something that's you like to do that's not on like social media that you do but outside of running.
I don't know. Like hobby?
Yeah. Not another hobby, but like
cooking, drawing, anything.
Poetry, something that puts you in a good space that it's not part of basketball, is what we're trying to say.
I feel like I read a lot.
Okay.
I do a lot of reading.
All right,
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Is there any famous author you like to read, a famous genre?
I like Harry Potter.
Cool. I like the movies.
I like the movies.
It always came around my birthday,
I feel like
so I had
that's
to
my
watch
favorite book
it.
series.
They was. Yeah. At what age did you start reading like Potter books?
Pretty recently. I mean, my junior year of high school.
Okay.
Right.
Bro,
not that long ago.
5th grade, that was like an encyclopedia to us.
We was like reading in school. Kids bringing that to school. I'm like, bro, I'm not reading
They was
that.
well read. They was well read. All right, so just a little bit of a backstory. What age did you start playing basketball?
Maybe like 6 years old.
Okay.
Whatever, like 2nd, 3rd grade was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, who or what guided you in that?
Well, my dad used to be a coach. So I feel like he just put me in basketball.
He coached you, or he was just a coach?
He was my coach too, sadly. But he was a coach And then
Mad
he put
strays.
me in.
He's catching mad straight.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I
Catching
need to
mad
chill on. I
strays.
need to chill on.
Nah,
I
it's
gotta-
cool. It's cool because we'll interview him next. Like, yo,
You gonna,
she's
you gonna watch it? Like,
All right.
say about me.
All right. So what ages did your dad coach you?
He coached me throughout AAU, so I would say sixth grade through junior year, because senior year
okay.
there's no AAU.
and that was the only coaching he did as far as like he wasn't
He
part of
used
like a
to
school.
coach at Farrell.
I was about to say what school
back
did he
in the
coach at?
day.
In Farrell.
At Farrell.
Shout out to them.
All right.
Okay.
Out.
And him having that sports background, did you naturally gravitate to that? Or
I
did
feel
he,
like yeah.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I have a daughter and she does a lot of the little things that I grew up doing, and I'm like, all right, cool. If you're gonna tap into that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure you are gonna be the best, even though
Right.
How many siblings are in your family?
Just one.
You're the only child?
Well,
Oh,
no,
me and
one.
someone else? Okay.
I have a sister. Yeah.
She play ball?
Yeah.
She's younger or older?
Younger. She's 11.
Ooh.
We got a big age gap. Yeah.
How does it make you feel to see her play and come up under you?
I like watching her play. I feel like she's gonna be a really great player, and I can't wait to see what she does.
And what school does she go to?
She's in St. Teresa now. She's in 6th grade.
What's her name?
Peyton.
Shout out Peyton.
Yeah.
We get to see you grow up. Your sister was G.O.A.T. That's why I'm wearing Diana Taurasi today. Happy birthday to her twin. I feel like she's the
Oh, it's her
grower.
birthday too?
Yeah, she's Gemini.
Is she coming for your scoring title?
She'll have 4 years.
Ah, okay.
I mean, but she has you to train
That's
and
right.
condition
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
and tell her not to wake up.
She got the
Just-
cheat code. She got the cheat code.
Nah, you don't have to wake up and just go score 1,000 in a season. You don't gotta do that. You gotta condition and do all those things. But do you guys actually play with each other as far as
We've
like?
trained with each other one time so far, which is not a lot. But I feel like as she gets older, we'll train together more.
And how'd you feel about that?
I will like that. Now she kind of annoys me a little bit, but I feel like as she gets older, it'll be better.
All right. In high school, so your parents and they attended the games. Your little sister attended the game. I know she was much younger. You're saying she's 11.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
probably like 4 or 5 years ago. She was like
Right.
6.
Right.
But when they were in attendance, how did you feel about that?
I liked having them at the games. My sister would always be doing TikToks in the stands. She was so young, she didn't really understand what's going on. But I liked having my mom and my father at the games.
All right.
Yeah, a good support system.
I have a question, Hakim. I'm sorry. And your mom has no sports background?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, no.
And what's her name?
Denise.
Shout out to Denise.
Denise.
Shout out to her. Keem?
Who would you consider your biggest mentors early on in life?
Matt Reeves.
Okay. Shout out Matt Reeves. That's coach.
Who? Yeah, talk to us about
That
who's
was my trainer. He moved to North Carolina recently. I'm mad he left me. But I feel I've been with Matt for a long time.
Okay.
And I honestly never really started talking it. Like, he always used to try to talk to me and mentor me. I just really didn't want to hear it until I got to college, actually. And I was like, I need Matt.
So only for a year he's really been
Right.
into-
But that's really has been one of my main mentors. And you know Azim Wilkerson?
Of course.
Yeah. He was with me all throughout my childhood.
Shout out Azim.
Okay.
That's the
Shout
guy.
out
I think he's
Azim.
at Port right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what's up to him.
Yeah.
And shout out Zay Day. That just happened this past week too.
Facts.
He's part of that. His little brother Isaiah Wilkerson.
Yes.
You ever seen him play?
No. I heard he was really good.
He was really, really
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
One of the best athletes I feel like that's in my generation. I say that a
Yeah.
lot. So, I just have a little bit of a back question. So, you had the coach who helped you condition. He went to North Carolina. Who's the new person who you've had in place?
Connor Nicholson.
And
No, Next Level.
I don't.
It's just a training program. I also train with Jerry Mosley.
I
a
feel like
lot.
I heard that before.
I've heard it before, but I'm
Yeah.
not familiar with like and
Yeah,
who it is,
that's
yeah.
who I've been training with now, and I always train with Jerry Mosley, which is Matt's dad.
Okay.
Yeah, I've trained with Jerry since I was in like 6th grade.
All right.
Yeah, Jerry's like a long time one.
All right.
Yeah.
Shout out Jerry.
Is there any other family members outside your mom? I mean, outside of your dad, your little sister who play ball?
No,
So it's just
You the
y'all
only one in the family?
word.
Your cousins, aunts, uncles, everybody?
yeah,
Wow.
I believe so. I'm not. I would. I should. I feel like I would know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no.
Not even that you would know. You'd be
Somebody would talk trash to you.
Right,
somebody.
right.
Yeah.
My dad tries to, but
Yeah. Somebody like, yo, back in my days.
All right, we're gonna get this one-on-one.
Dad's probably at home like, yo, what's going on?
How tall is he? Like how tall is
he's
your dad?
6'2".
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any advice on camera, like to the younger females out there, but to your little sister that you would give her coming up now with her being in middle school and about to go into high school?
I feel like middle school and the beginning of high school was pretty rough for me. I feel like putting in the work was tough, and I feel like some advice I would like to give is just to keep going, because there's another end of the tunnel, and you know it's gonna pay off. Putting in the work is the hard part, but then when you see it pay off, it's like it makes it all worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
How often do you get a chance to catch her games?
Frequently.
Okay.
Frequently.
Are you looking forward to doing that a little bit more as she gets older?
Yeah. I feel like when I'm not in college, too, it'll be easier to go to a lot of her games. Because when she graduates high school, when she graduates 8th grade, I'll be graduating college. So I should be at a lot of her high school games.
All right.
Do you have any idea what high school she might try to go to, might be looking at? You think
Probably
she might come to Wagner?
Maybe. We'll see. If Rizzo's still there, she'll go to Wagner.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rizzo again. So we're gonna transition into your high school background a little bit more,
Wait.
just basketball. Wait, what happened? I'm sorry.
Even though your sister's coming up playing basketball, you said no other family members played. So you obviously set the bar in your family, right?
Right.
And she's the only younger family member you had playing sports?
Right. Well, I
playing
have
basketball?
cousins that play, but they play like a bunch of but they're also younger, all younger. So I did kind of set the bar for my family. Yeah.
They got a high.
Yeah.
Like I want to ask an advanced
It's a high
question that
place
we
to
had.
reach.
Yeah, so I'm saying I want to ask an advanced question because, did you play COVID year?
We played 5 games.
Y'all only played 5 games.
5 games. Yes.
Sheesh. So you had 1,000 points each season after that.
Yeah.
I remember my dad would always tell me, he's like, "You got you can do it." I'm like, I don't know. This is
So what was
this
the
is
record
nuts.
before that? Do you know?
for Staten Island or?
All time. Because you're all time. So
Yeah.
3,140
I think
points.
it was like 25.
It's Kyle?
I had on
It's
Staten
Kyle.
Island it was Kyle.
I know Kyle's number 1 in boys.
Yeah.
Right,
but-
for girls
okay.
it was Kelsey Carey before me.
Yes, and
Yeah.
then
Kyle.
Jordana broke it, and now
Right.
Angelina has it.
Right.
Okay. And then Kyle had it for the boys for 25.
Right.
And then you eclipsed all of them with 3140. Fire. Fire. And they talked about you a little bit. Like you gave a couple of them a 50 burger. You gave some people some points out there. So we'll get into that. But tell the audience your relationship with your coach Rizzo.
He's like another father to me. He was really there for me throughout all those 4 years. I still talk to him every day.
That's what's up.
Yeah, he's great. I love that guy.
What number did you wear on Wagner?
10.
10?
Yeah.
Is that number special to you?
That number is extremely special to me. I started wearing it because I used to train when I was like really young. My first trainers was Candace Bellaccio, who played at St. Peter's, and I really looked up to her, and she wore 10. So then I kind of inherited the number as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Shout out to her.
Yeah.
Say Candace Bellaccio?
Bellaccio.
Bellaccio?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out her. All right, so outside of Wagner, was there any other schools you considered going to?
I was gonna go to Moore, and then they had a coaching change, and then I was like, "Yeah, I'll go to Wagner." Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to Wagner.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't
That
even
was
know
kind of just like a thought, like, why don't I just go to Wagner? Like, it's 10 minutes from my house. And then that's
alright.
kind of what we did, yeah.
Okay.
Was what about the changed your mind? Like, was it?
Just the coaching change.
Do you play with the other coach before? You was familiar with them? Like,
He was good friends with our family.
okay.
I think it was John Hood.
Oh.
I think. Don't quote me on that.
Okay. No, we won't quote anything.
Nah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
listen,
yeah.
everything's
I think.
speculation
You good,
to an
you good.
extent.
I was like 14. I don't really remember.
We will check this
Fact
off,
check, yes.
but at the end of the day, we in real time and we having a good conversation.
Right,
so
right.
shout out to John Hood if it was you. She moved on because it wasn't you, and then shout out RZA because you got her.
Right,
so
right.
So you think the same thing would have happened if you would have ended up at Moore?
facts?
No.
Ooh.
You don't
I think
so?
Rizzo played it. He let me do whatever I want. He said, this is your team from the
Okay.
day one. And
That
I don't know
freedom.
if another coach would have done that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
And I
They-
wouldn't have had the same teammates. Like, all my teammates wanted me to break all these records. They played a big part in it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's fire, Nicole.
Yeah.
That's a cool journey because again, we are getting new to the high school sports and all the goats
Mhm.
out there and who's been putting on. A lot of them are from Staten Island, so shout out the whole Staten Island. But to meet you and to get to know you in this last half an hour, we do hear that Catholic girls is tougher than public school.
Hmm.
So for you to say it probably would have been a little bit tougher. I feel the way you had the breakout, I don't know. You probably would have, because you only played 5 games during COVID.
Right.
So you probably would have had almost at least 3,500 points, let's just say, because you was going crazy. So
Yeah.
just shout outs. This whole interview is going to be shout out to you. I might name it that.
Shout out to you.
Shout outs to you. But have you ever been a team captain while
Yeah,
you was in high school?
Yeah.
Was it all 4 years?
3.
3?
Well, during COVID.
Oh yeah, the COVID year.
Because we had sub practice, and then
Yeah, I
junior,
got you.
senior year, not freshman year.
And how would you describe your leadership role, like when you played in high school?
I feel like I'm a very demanding captain. Like I expect a lot from my teammates on the floor. I feel like I push them. Sometimes I could be mean, but I feel like I want the best out of my teammates at the end of the day.
All right.
No, I feel like you sound dead ass. Like I feel like my questions got to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause you say what you mean.
Right.
So.
And we were some of the teams we would play. It's like we got no time to mess around. Like we got to lock in. Like, and I made sure they understood that.
Mama mentality.
All right.
Okay.
So since you said sometimes you be on your teammates' ass, pause. Do you feel you take good advice?
Yeah, from my teammate. I know of my father, not from him.
Yo, dad.
We did ask.
Dad.
Yo, we did ask. We did ask.
Dad.
What about him? No, I said Rizzo, yeah.
Yeah, anybody else, I take criticism. I can take it, but from him, no.
Okay.
All right.
And how do you feel you give advice? Like, do you feel like your delivery is good? Do you feel you got to work on it?
I feel like at first my delivery was bad. I feel like it was more.
Do what I say.
Right. I think it's gotten a lot better since.
And
more mature.
What challenges have you faced as a youth athlete?
In high school or?
High school as far as right now, yeah.
Like 2 now.
Yeah, until
Well,
now.
all together,
yeah.
high school and
Facts.
challenges at LaSalle.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my challenges were at Seton Hall. I would say, it was a really toxic environment, and I was injured on the sidelines, and I got to witness a lot of stuff that was just not right. And I feel like this year was one of the hardest years for me, and I feel like it was all about how I responded, and I came back better on the other side.
Facts.
So I feel like this upcoming season is going to be the best season for me.
And this is your junior season?
Junior season. I have 3 more years of eligibility, though, because I got this past year back.
Because of the injury?
Because of injury, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to take that year for yourself? You're just going to play the next 2?
No, I'm going to take the 3 years.
No, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm just asking. I'm going to say you're going to
Some
take full
people-
advantage.
some people don't,
Some
yeah.
people don't.
Some
Okay.
people don't, yeah.
All right. So you didn't really work out that much in high school. What were some of the things you did do when you were?
I
She
did.
said she worked out. She
I
said
just
she
not
did
no
that
conditioning.
run. Yeah.
I did a lot of basketball
Okay.
training. I would
Yeah.
do like after like school. I would go like to 2-hour workouts than high school practice.
And what helped you at that point, like with your game that you feel like, did you like study?
Repetition. I feel like all that repetition. I put in so many hours on the basketball court. I feel like all that repetition really contributed onto the court.
Did they give you a key to the school?
Yo.
No,
So don't smile. We know certain players just to get the key to the school.
I know. I had a call.
Ooh. She the GO.A.T. I want to know everything, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I got into school
could've
after
went
hours.
I could have went whenever, but I just had a call. Like
That's
I
what's up.
didn't have my own key.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
what's up.
outside now. Open the door.
That's what it sounded like. I demand y'all open the door right now. My school badge ain't working. All right, cool. So you wrapped up your total high school with 3,140 points. What do you feel drove you more? The amount of points you were scoring, the records you wanted to break? Like, what do you feel was driving you through this journey in your 3 years in Wagner?
That's a good question. I feel like it wasn't really the points. I feel like it was more for me. I know it's crazy. Confidence is a big issue. And I feel like it gave me confidence. Like, look what I've done. Like, look what I can do. Like, I know what I'm capable of. And it's like when I was at these 2 schools, it's like I know my worth. And it's like I'm going to go find that because I know what I can do.
That's what's up. No, I feel the confidence and I respect
Yeah.
it. I love confidence. I'm a big Gemini. So at the end of the day, if you put the work in for it, can't nobody really say. Do you feel like when you do walk around Staten Island, you go to these parks, you're recognized in that light? If the kids, know who you are and know what you've done?
Like if I'm, some people know. I would feel like people who were in high school at the same time as me, like they recognize me for sure.
And how's that make you feel?
Makes me feel good. Like, I made an impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made a huge impact. You the GO.A.T. You see that sign behind your head? If you looked back, it's a GO.A.T behind you. You Illuminati on Staten Island, you ask me. So tell the audience the difference between each year in high school from like your 5-game year to your sophomore year. Like, take us through a little bit of that journey. Like,
All right, I got this one. So my
Gotcha.
freshman year, I feel like I was a little nervous. And I averaged, I think, 28, 29. So that wasn't really very...
I was nervous. Calm third.
I know it sounds ridiculous.
She said,
Like,
she said, all right, so.
Damn, I wasn't there. Y'all would have called 40, you heard?
She said I was on a 28 run. All right, so go ahead. I'm sorry. We're going to laugh.
I was a little nervous. I would say, I wasn't really like fully into my show yet. And
Okay.
then the 5 games that we didn't even know if the points counted or not. So I was just going out there having fun. And they're like, no, like these count. We're like, oh shit. Like, all right.
That's fine. Okay.
And then, junior year was really like the breakout season. It was like, I was told what I had to do. And it's like, I'm great with a goal. It's like when I know like I have to get this number, I'm going to get it. Like I'm going to do what's in front of me. So
Who set that goal in your head? Just to ask you real quick.
My father.
Okay,
he was
cool.
like, this is the goal. Like you can do this. And at first I was like, but then I was like, like, yeah. And then my teammates also were like, yeah, like you can do this. Like, and then after like the first couple games, like, 40, whatever it was. And then they were like, no, like you're doing this. Like we're
So how did they know? Did you express that to them? Did they like?
I mean, I'm sure they were aware. Maybe my coach might have, because I never like verbally said it to them.
Okay.
But
Because they sound really supportive of it. So it's like, yo,
especially
girl, go for
Azim's
that.
daughter, Sanaya Wilkerson, she was like, no, like I'm getting you the fucking ball. You're doing this. Like, and I was like, all right. Like,
Shout outs to her.
and then
Fact,
senior
shout out to
year,
her.
senior year was I think better than junior. I was also in better shape senior year, and I feel like I was able to just really like put the pedal on the gas, whatever.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and just really do all these great things. But junior year, I did have my 1,000 and 2,000 the same season. Which is ridiculous,
We're
yeah.
going to get to that. We
Yeah.
got
You
a
brought
question.
it up. Let's talk
Facts.
about
Go
it.
ahead, talk about it. Go ahead, Game.
How'd that feel? Breaking 1K and 2K.
Yeah,
What
like,
That
what's
was
the difference of
amazing.
levels for you?
It was just pretty like
And who was
surreal,
in
honestly.
attendance? I'm sorry. Who else was
Yeah.
in attendance? Like, was
Your
there some? Who was in
family,
attendance
yeah.
in the first
All
1K?
family, like aunts, grandma, father, everyone.
Dad had to be there.
Former-
Sir,
He said, hey.
I broke another 1,000. He probably woke up like, God
Is that
damn.
another 1,000?
But
I also have a big supporter named Brian Ford. He was at every single one of my games.
Okay.
He never missed one game.
shout out to him. Who's that? To you.
Just like a friend, family friend.
All right.
Okay,
Shout out to
family
Brian.
friend. Shout out
Okay.
Brian.
Family
But
friend.
what was the different levels of each
Him
K?
and my father were like, God, dude, okay, different levels. All right. I feel like my 1,000 was like, all right, like this is cool. And then it was like, I could really do this in the same season. And it was like, okay, I gotta lock in. Like and I only played like when we would play like the weaker teams in our conference. I only played a half, sometimes one quarter. So so if I would have played multiple quarters, I probably would have had a lot more. If I would have had a lot more.
This interview's amazing to me right now. I just want to let all y'all know
I'm,
that
like,
right now. This
remembering
is
as
how
I'm
you
Wait,
talk
wait.
when you.
So in that one quarter, y'all were up so much. Coach is like, come on.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to.
I got you.
To play, which
She had
obviously
a
I had
rule.
respect.
He said, let you go
Nicole
crazy. Come on,
Malone.
coach. Let it
got
go
a
crazy.
That's fire.
Yeah, but then the last game I remember when I scored my 2,000 at the Barclays Center, which was amazing to do it
Y'all
at the Barclays
talked
Center.
about
I remember
that.
we're losing by like 50. I did it. And then we start jumping around because it was like 20 seconds. Another team trying to score. It was so funny. Like my coach, like, get back on, Dave.
He said, no.
I'm the greatest.
I
You
got
talk to the
2K, you
greatest.
heard? He said, coach, come on. I got 2K.
Yeah. South Shore is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you hit 3,
That was awesome. Like honestly, like when I was playing, I didn't really understand the weight of what I was doing because I was just playing, and I just we were winning.
And where'd you get 3 at?
At Tottenville.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
at Tottenville. Yeah, and everyone was like, "Save it for senior." And I was like, "No, I'm just fucking playing."
facts. Like, we
Like,
can't
if
do it right
if
now.
I
Like,
get it,
No,
I
I'm
get it.
cooking, so
Right.
we gonna get into that.
that's too much planning. Like,
Right.
they
I
giving
was
me
like,
60
no.
right now. Like, I'm about to
You
get
see
this.
the defense lacking off?
I didn't even stretch. Like, did you see me stretch? I need 60 out. Facts. Well, so how does it feel being the all-time leader in Wagner? Of course, we're talking about high school, but just all-time. Like, how does that feel to you?
Now that I understand the weight
Yes,
of it,
yes.
it's kind of surreal to me. I can't even believe I did that. Like I can, but it's like it's just really amazing to me.
Yeah, it just don't feel real.
It just don't feel real.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know right now. We didn't know you were only 20. We thought you was like some 80-year-old lady.
Yo, yeah. When they first said it, it was like, yeah, you know the whole time leader scored the goal, right? Oh,
So
yeah, she
we
must
like,
be a whole
she
80.
gotta
Like,
be because other people's records was like 40, 50
Oh, yeah,
years
yeah.
old.
Yeah,
So
we thought
when
you
we
was
spoke
old.
to you, shout out Jordana, she's like, oh, well, Nicole gave me 50.
we
I
said,
started
wait,
doing
said,
math.
wait,
I was like,
said the
you
number
played
one
against
leader
Nicole?
scorer?
She's like, yeah.
She was also my teammate, Jordana, as well,
Word.
for one season
Did
in
she
track
say that?
basketball. Yeah.
Nah, she never told us that part.
Well, that might have gave you better math skills if she did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You said one season where?
We played travel together one season.
Travel, okay.
Yeah.
How was that?
Good. I love playing with her. She's a great player. Yeah.
Nah, she's cool.
Yeah.
Her highlights, she's
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah,
But
she was cooking.
when we
Yeah.
learned that you was of age, it made us feel a lot better because we was like, yo,
yeah.
she's right here. Like,
Yeah.
she's 20. She's like, we don't got to go get somebody nostalgic to go speak to.
Right,
'Cause
right.
Old lady. This
shout out Kyle. I've been DMing, bro. You can hit me back. But
Yo, Kyle, what's up, bro?
it felt good to know that she was this generation and we
Right.
could, you know what I'm trying to say? Because we, at that age too, we could look back and see because Keem was part of sports. I'm not going to say we. Keem was part of sports. He was a great running back at Peters. So, again, this is amazing. What was your favorite season in high school as far as like freshman, junior? Like,
I feel like junior year. I feel like because it was the breakout year for me. Like that's when I really started like putting up these huge numbers and people started recognizing me. I feel like that. I mean, senior year, I was kind of just like piggybacking off of junior year.
Copy.
Yeah.
I got you. It was just mostly like, what could we see her do more? Like, what more
Right.
could she do or whatever? Okay, Keem.
All right, so how long do you think you're going to hold the all-time leading scoring record for?
Hopefully until my sister comes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I like that answer.
Yeah, we gonna keep this in the family.
I
Dad
like
has
that
skipped
answer.
you. You ain't doing it.
You ain't doing shit.
Chill,
But
chill.
the two daughters, listen, I'm happy I have a daughter. I know for a fact that she's my 2.0.
Right.
Whatever I do, whatever foundation I lay, I
Right.
want her to
Right.
have all of that. So
I would love that.
Shout outs to
yeah.
you for saying my sister's going to be the only one who do this next. But
Right.
not to sound like that, for you and your sister to have an argument in the future, how much points does she at least need to have to talk to you?
I don't know. Like,
At least two? At least 2K?
2,800?
Because you're number one. So you're number one on the Mount Rushmore. You're MJ right now.
Yeah.
So we got the other three, which is Angelina, Jordana, and shout out to the fourth. I don't know off the top of my head, but we'll put it in the interview somewhere. So you're number one. She got to at least break in that Mount Rushmore?
yeah, I feel like it depends how she starts. Like, I had a good start.
Okay.
You know, I feel like if she has a
Respect.
good freshman year, then yeah, I think
Respect.
it could happen for her.
Okay. Is
Yeah.
there any players on that high school team throughout the all 4 years, doesn't matter, that you want to give a shout out to in Wagner?
Sanaya Wilkerson, Samantha Harrell, Alexis Anderson. I feel like those were my like top three. You know, they really were great teammates and really helped me a lot. Like I wouldn't be able to do any of what I did without them. And Alexis' sister Amanda Anderson. Too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
What was the most points you've had in one game? In
Si-
PSAL?
62.
60,
Oh, in PSAL?
In PSAL.
It's got probably like 50 something. No. Yeah, it might have been 50 something. Because I did that. I remember when I was at Curtis, I definitely did that. When I don't know if you saw the video when I signed the autographs at
No,
Curtis.
but we'll get it.
Yeah,
We'll
see
find
that.
it. But that's
Yeah,
fine. Or
I
you
can
can send it to
send
me.
it to us,
That's a
yeah.
fact.
Right,
We
yeah.
want
I
all
feel
of
like
that.
it had to be like that game.
All right.
Okay, and let's get into a little bit of your Jake's winnings now because we didn't even touch those yet. And y'all laughed at me. No, we're going to get into it's a little personal right now. So we had an episode, maybe 2-3 episodes back, and we had a young man on here who's going to be on varsity starting his freshman year. So what I said was, before I knew you existed, was, he could have an opportunity to win the Jake's all 4 years. And my co-host / partner laughed at me like, ain't nobody winning that all 4 years. We didn't know about you yet. So now that we do know about you and you've won it your sophomore, junior, senior year,
Well, sophomore year, no, it was freshman year I won it.
Oh, it's freshman year. Okay, so I'm sorry.
Because COVID, yeah.
Freshman. So what? It was 3-peat. Like,
Right.
COVID, you might have had 4. We
Yeah.
talk about Jordan having 8, so you might have had 4. But
Yeah.
how did that feel getting the first, then the second, and then the third one?
I feel like the first one, like, I didn't really understand, like, what it meant at first, because I was so young. My dad's like, this is ridiculous. Like, nobody has ever won it as
He's
a
finding the house
freshman.
going
He was like,
crazy.
he was like, why aren't you excited? I'm like, I don't even know what this shit is. Like, and then when
Dad was finding the house going nuts. If I thought it as a
He
freshman.
probably was in his group's fantasy chat like, what? He said, what is this?
He said, yeah, his daughter's in her cheerleader. My daughter went to Jake's as a freshman, bro.
All right, so yeah, I'm sorry. So the first one, go
so
ahead.
yeah, then you know, I was like, that was great. Once I realized what it was, I was like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
All right.
this is now. Then I started doing research about like the legacy and stuff, and I'm
Shout out
like,
to
this
Warren
really means a lot. And then you know, the second and the third, my last 2 seasons, it was just really surreal. You know,
Who carried them for you? Like, who'd you have? I was gonna ask you to bring them today. I ain't even gonna hold you.
I
but
have them in my house.
yeah, I know. We
Yeah.
had Angelina on here. There was
Yeah.
no space when she brought them, so me and
Yeah.
King was like, we just go.
My dad pretty much carries everything. Yeah.
He probably have work with them right now. 3. That's a fact.
You can send us pictures of them. We'll put it on the episode.
So, was there any like speeches you gave that you felt was like inspirational, or did you feel like I gotta give another speech?
No,
Like,
I love giving the speeches. I feel like that was the highlight of the whole thing, giving honor to the people who came before me,
Facts.
who may have not had the same opportunity like that I did to be put on the stage. Like, Zeta Martin. I don't know if you know who she is, but she was a really great player. And, some players like that didn't get the same recognition that like this generation gets. So I feel like in my speeches, I included a lot of past players.
All right.
So I feel like that was very.
You sound very educated on the past players as well. So, and I think that's dope because we're getting educated as we go and as we cover this.
My
issue.
mentor, Matt Reeves, tries to educate me about them because he tells me like there's people that dealt with a lot of, racism and stuff, and they weren't able to have the spotlight that you had. And he tries to really educate me and just reminds me to give honor.
Where's Matt from?
I don't know where he's. I don't know where he's from.
Off camera, can we get his information?
Yeah,
I would love to interview Matt.
Matt's
Shout out
great.
Matt,
We need to have a
bro.
conversation with you, man.
Facts.
You sound
I know
dope,
you
bro.
in North Carolina, but Smokey has wheels. We will roll down there and we would get some craft house and we would get
That's great.
all that. Like we getting all that. But
he used to coach at Tonville as well. So he coached some of these players that he's like telling me like, they went through this and that and they weren't able to, like he would tell me a story like, the girls like Zeta, he would tell me like she would have 20 and then she would bench, then parents would bitch. And it's like, that never happened with me. Like, I had supportive teammates. And it's like, if I was in a situation like that, like maybe I wouldn't have done what I did,
That's fire.
So,
That's good
just
mentorship.
having somebody that tells me about the past and to always give homage is just really, I think it's really important.
Shout out Matt.
Yeah.
Nah, super shout out Matt. Did you have a favorite moment throughout your high school basketball?
Yeah, I would say my 3,000.
Your 3,000?
Yeah. Scoring my 3,000.
No, I get that,
And playing
but
at the
then-
Barclays Center too. That was really.
You did it twice.
Twice, yeah.
And what was the difference in courts for you? Like, did you like playing there?
Yeah, I liked playing there. It was really hot. It was really hot. Like I remember that. I was like, oh my god, the lights is killing me. But yeah, I like the court.
All right, cool. We're gonna transition into college, Keem.
Yeah.
So you graduated.
You
Started off at LaSalle. Talk to us about that.
LaSalle, I had a great season at LaSalle. I think I averaged about maybe a little under 11 points a game. I started almost every game. Yeah, I really just went in there and just did my thing.
Who recruited you? Like, what was the process?
One of their assistants recruited me. I'm still really close to him to this day. There's no beef or anything.
That's what's up. Shout outs to him.
Yeah. The process, I was originally committed to Georgia Tech, and then my mom had gotten sick, and then I needed to come closer to home. So I went to I decommitted late, like really late, and then I found LaSalle, and I ended up going there.
Okay. And the Georgia Tech route, just a little bit. I know you didn't. You committed and you decommitted.
Right.
Like, what was it about Georgia Tech that you liked?
I liked the coaching staff at the time. That coaching staff is no longer there anymore, but that coaching staff was great too when I originally committed there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Georgia Tech and then transferred to LaSalle, and now you're at Seton Hall.
I'm at Siena now. I was at Siena. I didn't really play for Seton Hall.
Oh, okay.
I transferred, got hurt, didn't play, hated it. Left to Siena.
Because I was trying to figure out earlier why she was shitting
yeah.
on it. I'm like, aren't you gotta play that next year?
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
okay, so yeah,
Now
talk to
you
us
know,
about your
yeah.
your college.
You said what?
So talk to us about the college. Like, go.
Siena?
So you at Siena?
At Siena right now, yeah.
Okay, and you went through LaSalle, Seton Hall. You got hurt, didn't like the process, seen a lot of things happening behind the scenes.
Right.
Wasn't cool. Talk to us about some of those, not those things, but like some of the things that helped you get through those like tough times. You said you came out better.
Yeah.
I got a question for LaSalle though, real quick.
Yes.
How'd you enjoy that season playing?
The season, we were a losing team. I feel like I individually did well, but I want to win. And if I stayed there, we would have never won. And I feel like that was the major factor for me. Like I want to win.
She's
I want
used to it.
Right. Yeah.
So you say you never played at Seton Hall. You got hurt in practice?
Well, I played like a couple, like 3 games. Yeah, I got hurt in practice though.
Okay.
So I didn't really like get a chance to establish myself there. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So what are you looking to accomplish with this next journey?
At Siena?
Yeah.
I'm just looking to finally be me. Fully. Like I was at Wagner.
What's that look like?
Me, scoring,
Okay.
having the ball in my hands, coming off ball screens, actually handling the ball. I feel like at LaSalle I wasn't really handling the ball, which was not just on the coach's fault. It was also at my fault. I was kind of a little shy. And I feel like really at Siena just really not just going full force and just breaking through.
So you're going to be a starter.
Hope to.
You're going to be a starter.
Hope to.
What does your recovery look like? Are you already back on your feet?
Yes.
Are you? Okay.
I've been cleared since probably the end of February. I just, at that point, it was like season's almost over. I'd rather just keep my year. So I was discussion I had with the coaches. They were like, yeah, like, and my athletic trainers, and they knew, like, they were like, yeah, like, I'm not coming back this season. So I could just get my year back and have 3 years at Siena.
All right.
Yeah.
And let the audience know what injury you had.
I had a lower back injury.
Lower back.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I thought about it. I was like, I'm not going to ask it, but you asked it.
I mean, it's out there.
Okay.
It's out there. Yeah.
So tell some of the younger athletes out there what they should be looking for when they go to these colleges and they about to commit and this next level.
For somebody who has made 2 mistakes, I would always talk to the team, ask questions, talk to the athletic trainer. They know everything. They know everything. The dirt. They know if they're shady. They know everything. Talk to the athletic trainer. Ask many questions. I feel like that's something that I didn't do twice. I didn't ask any questions. And trust your own instincts. Mm-hmm. I feel like at LaSalle, I had a good feeling. And, it was good for me. It just, we were losing. And at Seton Hall, I didn't have a good feeling going there. I listened to outside people influence me. They're like, it's a bigger conference. You can go there. And it's like, I just knew, like, it wasn't a good fit. But I just, like, suppressed that feeling. So something I would tell, like, players getting recruited, like, always trust your gut instincts. Don't ignore it because they're correct.
Gotcha. Right. Respect. I tell people all the time, you get one shot at this.
Right.
You get one shot, bro. Man. So
right.
If you feel like that's what's best for you, Nicole, do what's best for you. We support it. We'll be
Thank you.
there saying, yo, that's not what's good for her.
As a fact.
And if you don't want to say it, we'll say it for her, but she's going to say it next. Like, now that you're going to this next journey, is there anybody on the team that you're familiar with, if you've played with before, or looking forward to playing with?
So far, we've had some like team FaceTime calls, and all the girls really seem great. But next season, my father has one of his. He's still a coach. He still coaches travel. One of his players are going there, who I'm like kind of friendly with. So that'll be next season. So I'm looking forward to playing with her because I've never played with her.
What position she play?
She's point guard. Yeah.
And so she get you to rock.
Yeah.
yo, stop. Let me jump in. Hold on. So how do you feel about recruiting people to come play with you?
I would love to do that. Especially people who I know who are younger in high school. Like, I feel like that would be great to have
just
a conversation.
Jalen Brunson do it.
Oh,
On national level. He said, I play with them in Villanova. I need them. If you want to get your Wagner crew, Wilkinson, you better get them to see get them there. Do you have any ambitions of playing either overseas or in the WNBA?
Yes. I would love to play overseas. WNBA, if it happens, it happens. But overseas is going to happen for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you feel you have to do, or what has to happen for you for that dream to come true?
I have to dominate at Siena. I really have to put up numbers. I really have to work hard. I really have to, be a good teammate. Mm-hmm. And I feel like if I can do that, I'll play overseas. Because, I feel like being a good teammate is like a lost art. Like, you can't succeed without your teammates.
That's what's up. Yeah. That's good that you're a good team player. Kim, I'm sorry, go ahead, Kim.
All right, so you said you play overseas over the WNBA. So how do you feel about the WNBA?
I like the WNBA. I just feel like, I feel like it's more for somebody like me. Like, I'm not like Angel Reese, I'm not Caitlin Clark. I would be one of
Staten Island. You are
right.
Whoa.
I feel like unless you're not a player of their profile and their, I feel like it's not really a good money maker for you.
Okay.
And I was going to ask you, that was going to be my question. How do you feel like do you feel like it's because it's financially driven? And
I do.
Okay.
And I feel like it's a lot of social media driven as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is better about overseas then? Because you're not the first athlete who said, they're going to take the overseas route if they get the opportunity. What is better about it?
I've heard the money is better.
Okay.
I feel like room to increase your salaries, but it's from what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how true that is.
Cost of living.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard the experience. You could live in another country for free. Mm-hmm. If it's a nice country, you enjoy it. You have a great time. Yep. I've had some former college teammates go overseas, and they've loved it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good success overseas too.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a little parallel to the WNBA as far as like notoriety and
right.
doing what you still love and things like that. I
Right.
think the WNBA is trying to separate themselves with the money. It's just not there yet.
No, sadly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I get it. But is there any WNBA player, overseas player who we know you mentioned earlier? Do you take anything from their game that you implement in yours?
I like Paige Becker's passing ability.
Ooh.
I like her. And Caitlin Clark's passing ability as well. Yeah.
So you feel like you will work on your vision and your
Right.
assist a lot more?
Yeah.
And what about scoring? Who you take scoring tips from? Or move?
Who's your favorite shooter?
Yeah, who you still moves from?
Steal is a strong word, but who
Hey, Pete, ain't that how it goes? You see somebody do a nice move, so I'm stealing that.
Well, I did like Diana Taurasi. Now that you have her on your shirt, I did like her a lot. That was my number one growing up. Before all these like new generation players.
It ain't stealing, it's inspiration.
That's the word I was looking for.
I'm sorry, inspiration.
When's your birthday? January, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a Capricorn?
Aquarius.
All right, cool. So we know you're driven, you got a plan, you're going to stick to it, and you're going to go all the way there. So I spoke to you earlier off camera, but we are going to ask you again, what are you doing for the summer?
Just working out. You know, I've been running, like I said before, I run every day. I shoot every day. You know, doing that. I leave June 22nd to go to Siena for our summer session.
Okay.
And, you know, hopefully we prepare to win the MAC, which we will do.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about. Talk about it.
Yeah.
With all my teammates.
Name some of the accolades you do want to accomplish in college.
Well, I hope to become, you know, my coach actually at Staten was telling me about they have like athlete of the year and he wants me to win that. He set that goal for me.
Okay.
So shout out to my coach, Billy.
For your conference or
for the school.
Okay.
For conference, obviously, you know, first team, all conference,
Yes.
you know, that's hopefully a goal for myself.
All right.
That I hope
We're going to hold you to it.
Yeah.
We're going to hold you to it because we're also going to remind you and support you. So
Right,
we
right.
definitely want to make sure that we're not doing anything that's going to take away from that. We want to make sure, hey, listen, this was the goal.
Right.
This is what you said you wanted to do. This is what you're trying to get to.
Now, hopefully, we're back on this clip and after I get it.
Facts. Yeah. Keem?
So no New York summer ball for you.
No, I don't. I can only play in like NCAA certified tournaments,
Yeah,
so it's
that's
hard.
it.
It's hard to. It's hard
Really?
to like find
Yeah,
them.
because
I
she's
thought
in part
college
of the
athletes
school.
play in. They don't play in Dykeman and stuff.
Dykeman's NCAA certified. Yeah.
Oh,
Dykeman, yeah.
I'm bugging. My
Yeah.
bad.
So is there
My bad,
any
my bad.
that you know that's certified that you would play in if you had the opportunity?
Yeah.
Yeah, I play in Dykeman. I like Dykeman. I played in Dykeman in high school. I really liked it.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you get an invite to some of your play.
Yeah.
All right.
Was you like in like a McDonald's anything when you was coming up?
I was nominated, but I didn't get chosen.
What?
Yeah.
They did that to you. Come on.
That-
son.
New York.
It's New York. It's the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basketball,
They hate us for some reason.
it's not
We buy a lot of
No.
McDonald's. Did you see 42nd Street?
Bro,
New York
how is New York the mecca of basketball and they completely always shitting on New York kids?
Because they just switched the whole situation. New York is not considered the mecca of basketball anymore.
Who is?
DC.
Okay.
I can see that.
The mecca
Yep.
of basketball now.
I can't argue that. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right.
I just feel like it's unfair. this the GOAT.
It's
Right.
more so with New York. It's more so you have individual kids that they get to it.
Right.
Not
You put 'em-
programs.
you put 'em- not even not programs. You put them with other great players. They can't take a back seat.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna do the extra. They're gonna try to do extra stuff. instead
Yeah.
of playing their
Playing
game.
ball. All right.
So you got to be a little bit more well-rounded to actually get
Right.
that nod. All right,
They used
respect.
to, I remember New York. He used to take a 30 shots a game. He used to
Right.
15, 20. Now you playing a team where we all
getting
nice.
5,
Right.
10.
You're getting 7. I'm getting 7. You're getting 7.
Right.
Like, and maybe that one kid who's the number 1 player in this area, and he's gonna get the 25 shots the game, and they're not used to that. So when they get
Right.
around everybody that's just as good as them, they go in the corner.
Gotcha.
Nobody's giving you a quarter shot. It's a hot pocket.
That's a fact.
I feel like that's
Gotcha.
why I'm thankful I had a good AAU team, so that didn't happen to me when I went to college.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you played in the lights already. So you
Right. Right.
All right.
So is there anybody who we didn't get a chance to shout out that you might want to give a shout out to, where people could find you as far as Instagram handles, anything like that?
Like shout out my handles.
Well, shout out your handles as well. But is there anybody like, you know, we didn't get to mention
A coach you didn't mention.
Yeah,
a family
somebody
member, a
that you want to
teammate.
give a shout out to?
Yeah.
No, I think my dad was mainly like my primary coach.
Gotcha.
We
Gotcha.
talked enough about him.
He's a
That's
friend
gonna
and
make
a
the
foe.
interview. That's gonna make the interview. But all right, cool. Keem, close us out.
I ain't gonna lie. Dad might want to play 1-on-1 after he see this.
Oh, we recently played 12-2. 12-2 me.
Yo, Pops.
Does he have any wins on
Yo,
you?
Pops.
He has some, but it's like the lucky chuck up threes. Like he throw that shit up, or he start backing me down. Like he's a 6'2", big dude. I'm like, yo,
start
you're
using his
cheating.
strength.
That's if I was
He
him, that's what I
cheating,
would
like-
do. We get in the post, baby. You ain't gonna be beating me.
But when he can't face up, like
Oh yeah,
Dribble, what you doing?
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta come around and 3 dribbles.
that's a
Right.
fact.
He can't do that.
Bro,
That's
we
a
gotta
fact.
see that live.
our last
like,
game was 12-2.
He's 6'2". He should be shooting.
He didn't get the ball. He didn't get the ball.
Oh yeah, you start with the ball. That's a fact.
Oh, yeah, make
of course
it take-
he starts with the ball.
What? We playing
starts
in
with
and
the
out.
ball.
I'm gonna get my chance.
Nah, make it take it, baby.
I'm getting my chance.
Nah,
Wow,
he making you take
He
it.
didn't
Nah,
get the
you talking
ball
about 3
until it was
steps.
like 7-0.
All right, can you close this out, bro? We can talk about her dad a whole nother hour. It sound like. Go ahead.
All right, that concludes another spotlight interview presented. That concludes another spotlight interview presented by 718 Sports Network. I'm Hakim Rice, Smokey Brownings, Nicole Melius. We out.
Check. Appreciate you, Nicole.
Thank you
so
guys.
much.
That was very fun.
Appreciate that. This will probably.